Hello again, and welcome back to Academic Talk. Today, we are talking about something everyone thinks about happiness. Specifically, we're asking, can you be happy without success? My guest today is Steve Robot, who helps us think about life's important questions. Welcome, Steve Robot.
Thank you for having me on Academic Talk. This topic is very interesting because many people believe they must be successful to be happy.
Yes, it seems like a common idea. Many people work very hard to achieve success, thinking it will bring them happiness. But Steve Robot, what are your thoughts? Can happiness exist without what most people call success?
I believe very strongly that yes, you absolutely can be happy without what many people traditionally call success. It depends greatly on how we define success and how we understand happiness.
That's a key point. How do people usually define success, and what might be a different way to think about it?
Money can also give you location freedom, the chance to travel to different places or move to a new city or country for work or new experiences if you want. Traditionally, in many cultures, success is linked to things like having a high-paying job, a lot of money, a big house, a fancy car, or a high position in work. It's often about power, status, and having many material possessions. It's something external that others can see and measure. However, we can also define success in a much more personal way. Maybe success is reaching your own goals, whatever they are. Maybe it's learning something new, being a good friend or family member, helping others, or living a life that feels meaningful to you, even if it doesn't bring fame or fortune. This personal definition of success is very different from the traditional one.
And is it this traditional definition of success that you believe is not necessary for happiness?
This inner freedom does not come from money. Exactly. Chasing only external markers of success, like just making more money or getting a higher job title, often does not lead to lasting happiness. Many studies and real-life examples show that people who achieve high levels of traditional success are not always happy. They can still feel stressed, empty, or that something is missing. Happiness, I believe, comes more from internal things. It comes from feeling good about yourself, having good relationships with others, feeling a sense of purpose, growing as a person, and finding joy in simple things. These things are not directly bought with money or achieved through a high-status job.
So, what are some of the things that do contribute to happiness, if not traditional success?
It means having enough money to live a good life without always stressing about it, and having peace inside, good relationships, and feeling good about yourself, not just because of your money. Many things. Strong relationships are very important, having loving family and good friends. Feeling connected to other people gives us support and makes us feel like we belong. Also, having a sense of purpose matters. This means feeling like your life has meaning, maybe through your work, hobbies, or helping others. It's about feeling useful and contributing to something bigger than yourself. This doesn't require a traditionally successful career. It could be volunteering, caring for your family, or creating art. Another factor is personal growth. Learning new things, developing skills, and understanding yourself better can bring deep satisfaction. This journey of growth is open to everyone, regardless of their job title or income. Finally, practicing gratitude of being thankful for what you have and mindfulness, living in the present moment are powerful ways to increase happiness, and they cost nothing.
It sounds like you are saying happiness is more about how you live and how you feel inside than about what you have or what you achieve in a traditional sense.
Finally, practicing gratitude of being thankful for what you have and mindfulness, living in the present moment are powerful ways to increase happiness, and they cost nothing. Precisely. Happiness is a way of traveling, not a destination. It's found in the daily experiences, the connections we make, and the meaning we create in our lives. Someone might have a simple job, live in a small home, and not have a lot of money, but if they have loving relationships, enjoy their simple life, and feel their actions matter, they can be very happy. On the other hand, someone with great traditional success might be lonely, stressed, and always worried about keeping their position or wealth. Their external success does not bring them inner peace or joy.
So, the pressure to achieve traditional success might even be bad for happiness.
It builds the necessary base for other freedoms. It certainly can be. If people believe they can only be happy after they achieve a certain level of success, they put their happiness on hold. They might work too much, ignore their health, or damage their relationships in the chase for external goals. This can actually make them unhappy in the present moment. It creates a feeling that I will be happy when, instead of finding happiness now with what they have and who they are.
What advice would you give to someone who feels unhappy because they haven't reached traditional levels of success?
At that point, feeling free comes more from other things, like how you spend your time, having good relationships with people you care about, being healthy in body and mind, and feeling like your life has meaning, not just linked to how much money you have. I would tell them to first be kind to themselves. Society often gives us a narrow idea of what success means. Second, I would suggest they think about what truly makes them feel good and gives their life meaning, separate from money or status. What activities do they enjoy? Who makes them feel loved and supported? How can they help others? Third, maybe try setting small, personal goals that are important to them, not just goals society expects. Achieving these small, personal successes can build confidence and happiness. Finally, I would encourage them to focus on gratitude for what they already have, rather than focusing on what they lack compared to others.
You talked about things like being able to take care of yourself and not wanting too many material things as other ways to be free. Can you explain that more? That is very helpful advice. It shifts the focus from external achievement to internal well-being and personal values. So, to summarize, you believe that while success can be one part of a happy life for some people, it is not a requirement, and true happiness comes from other, more personal and internal sources.
Yes, that is exactly my point. We need to be careful not to let a narrow definition of success stop us from finding and experiencing happiness every day in the many simple, yet profound aspects of life.
Steve Robot, thank you so much for sharing these valuable thoughts on Academic Talk.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
And thank you to our viewers for joining us for this important discussion. We hope it encourages you to think about what success and happiness mean in your own life. Goodbye for now.